the possibility of getting married more than once, but I know they'll never accept me. If we get married, I'll have to see them more than once a year. My girlfriend has given up trying to defend me to her parents and just ignores the things that they say about me most of the time, but I can tell it bothers her too. They bankroll a big chunk of her lifestyle, and I think she's worried they'll cut her off if she pushes too hard. So not to sound like a bad person, am I wasting my time? Is this relationship doomed? My girlfriend always tells me she doesn't care what her family thinks, but I'm not sure that's true. She always tries to downplay how bad they are to me, but I know I'll never be good enough for them, even if I'm good enough for her. I can understand from reading that why the OP feels disrespected, as it's not nice the way he's been treated by his girlfriend's parents. In an ideal world, his girlfriend's parents would become extended family and almost act like his own parents. However, it doesn't seem like this would be the case for him. I guess one thing to consider in the short term is the fact that he doesn't have to actually be around these people that often, and that he could even make a point to his girlfriend that, given the way things are, he doesn't want to make those visits once or twice a year, and this should ease some of the pressure and tension he feels while he tries to figure out what he wants and maybe discusses with his girlfriend. However, in the long term, this won't be possible because, if they do get married and have children, these people will be the grandparents of their children, so there'll be certain occasions such as birthdays and holidays which they'll have to spend together, unless there was some kind of awkward understanding where his girlfriend could choose to spend certain days with her family and certain days with him, but it doesn't seem very practical or particularly appealing. The OP mentioned that his girlfriend stopped trying to defend him to the parents and doesn't explicitly call them out or tell them to stop. This is, as he says, likely due to the lifestyle they've afforded her, which is kind of sad. From reading this, I think it's likely that in the long term the parents will continue to undermine the relationship, and if they're sinister, they could even subtly try to convince her that the OP is not the right person for her and make his life very difficult. Therefore, my advice in this situation would be to explain to his girlfriend that given the role her parents play in her life and the financial support that they give, he's concerned how the relationship will play out in the long term. And explain that it's a weird situation given he's completely happy with his girlfriend and his relationship with her, and it's actually things external to their relationship causing the issue and the doubts long term. I would maybe explain that he is happy with her and he really wants things to work, but he does have these doubts because of this. This way, he'll be able to judge whether she will be able to make a change in terms of defending the OP and calling her parents out in order to try to prevent this behaviour from happening going forward. That way he can make a judgment as to whether she's willing to do this and whether things will actually change in the long run, and this should give clarity in that he will know whether the behaviour of her parents is likely to continue or not, and with that information he can decide whether, if the behaviour were to remain the same, whether he's willing to tolerate this or whether he feels in himself he has to move on without her. Some of the most helpful and insightful comments I found on this post were as follows. Your girlfriend needs to be able to live without her parents' money before you consider marrying her. At the moment, they are waiting you out, but probably do small things to undermine the relationship. They view you as fun their daughter is having before she settles down for something real. They probably exclude you from vacations they would take her on or family events. When they take a family photo, they probably ask you to take the photo. Wealthy parents use money to control their adult children as they have no other avenue to do so, and they are used to being in control of everything. They get the kids addicted to nice things and then make demands to continue the flow. Once they deem it serious, they will work to prevent the marriage as they do not think you will be able to provide the lifestyle they want for her. They will withdraw funding from her dream wedding, and they'll have legal documents drawn up detailing inheritance, divorce, child support, alimony, etc. They'll do anything they can to add stress to break it up, and they'll be very good at it. I grew up in a wealthy community, so I've met all sorts of rich people. Your girlfriend's parents are the bad sort of rich people. With the importance of material goods they place and the way they act, I'd also wager they're probably not as wealthy as they'd like you to think they are. Another post read, the problem isn't that they're rich, it's that they're bad people. Another post read, seriously, by virtue of the uni I went to, lots of my dearest friends are millionaires or have trust funds. I have never ever been disrespected like this in their homes, and proper rich people don't sit there talking about status and cash as they are more dignified. It sounds like these people are new money and paranoid about it. If I were you, I wouldn't go out anymore. Your girlfriend is entirely at fault, by the way, for allowing her family to disrespect you like this. Her dad doesn't talk to you directly. Is he the king of Spain or something? What an idiot. For those who disagree that the daughter is fault, I say this. I'm a 28-year-old woman from a conservative background in an interreligious relationship of someone from a very different world, class and level of education. If I can stand up to my parents and walk out of a room when they have tried to speak ill of my partner, this sheepish child of a woman can do it too. And finally, the last post read. They sound insufferable, and if they bankroll your girlfriend, there is no escaping them. She wouldn't risk standing up to them because she'd lose her lifestyle. Sorry, but that would be a deal breaker for me. It might be different if she wasn't attached to their purse strings, but you will never be more important than their money.